welcome in after a Commanders win today. An unexpected win, perhaps.
Not unexpected.
They try to paint this place blue today with all these Cowboy fans here thinking there was going to be some type of coronation and an Eagles upset up north, which never materialized. And instead we're here talking about a Commanders win, although the season sadly is over. 26-6 the final in the Sam Howell era? Question mark.
It started tonight.
Did it start tonight?
Whatever it is, the young wolf is what I call him, Rob Stark. He went in there. He was fearless. He moved around the pocket. He made something happen. He made plays with his feet. That's what you got to do when the line not so good. Maybe so. Maybe the era of Sam Howell did start. I don't know, Jack.
I don't know either. I'll tell you what, the kid's got a live arm, got the ball out quickly, showed mobility, was a live runner, was a interested runner, which is some of the frustration this year we had, obviously, with Taylor Heineke. It didn't seem like he wanted to run anymore. But you know what? Good stuff from Hal. You know, again, this is kind of similar to the offense that we've seen all year. In spurts, it was a spurt offense.
Yep. Wasn't
consistent. A lot of 3-and-outs, a lot of issues on third down. But, you know, when in a game, Dallas tried to play. I mean, Dak Prescott was flat out horrific today. His worst game completion percentage in his NFL career, going 14 of 37 for 128 yards.
The game kind of got away from him. At first, I thought they started off slow. I watched them mix a couple throws, and I said it all along early in this year when Jerry Jones rushed him back that it was just too early for him to come back. And you know what's hard on a gripping the ball, especially when you got a reconstructed hand, when it's cold outside.
Yeah.
And it was cold out here tonight, and it tested Dak Prescott. It tested his wide receivers. We test their offensive line. And I'm sorry, they didn't take these guys out. We flat out beat this team tonight. We flat out beat a playoff team, and that what make it feel so bad for the fan base to know we were yet so close but yet so far away.
So 8-8-1's the final mark on the season. So, you know, a game improvement, obviously, in the win column, but it's still a frustrating year, obviously, because it's just what could have been after going from, you know, November 27th till today, January 8th, between wins, you know, and again, with a lot of opportunities in front of you. Obviously, the two giant misses are going to sting this offseason, and we'll start to see tomorrow if there is any change. I mean, look, we know there's a lot of things above the staff that's going on, right? With the team
it is.
And the future of who's in charge of the franchise. So that could have some impact on some things, obviously. And, you know, look, Scott Turner, maybe he felt like he was in the line a little bit today. You know, I think you saw with Sam Howell there was some good stuff there, but again, there was also some stuff that was a little frustrating in terms of keeping the drives going. But I think they've got to be happy with the fifth-round pick overall. Kid gets a win, touchdown pass, touchdown run, did throw a pick in the end zone.
Yeah.
But 11-19, you know, 169 yards, threw a beautiful dime. To Terry McLaurin, deep shot, and it was good to see. It was good with the slant passes. So the middle of the field open today, more so than obviously the previous 16 games.
Well, the thing about it that showed me that was, like you said, had a very live arm, hot on the slant routes, getting them there, hitting Logan Thomas over the middle, getting the ball into small windows, dropping the ball a dime on a deep pass. He showed you a little bit of everything that's in his repertoire. Then he said, you know what, after I throw the touchdown on my second pass, I'm going to come show y'all that I got wheels too. And I don't think he a gas car. I think he all electric because he didn't need to be charged back up. Hey, I feel good for the guy. I told you I felt good about him. I felt good about him before the game because I thought he'd bring a new element to the game and a new type of hunger to the game also, Jack.
Yeah, no doubt. It was good to see, and I'm glad, you know, I don't know how this decision was ultimately made, but I'm glad to see it was made to let him play today in a game that, again, could have no impact on your standings, and good for Sam Howell. And I know we'll get the people later on. We'll get the phone lines at 800-493-1003 that will complain about draft position lost.
We didn't lose nothing.
But at the end of it, you know what? Sam Howell's out here competing. It wasn't like a Texan situation today where you
lose the number one,
the actual number one overall pick.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, you lose some spots possibly, but again, we'll see what it brings. And, it brings to the conversation where Sam Howell fits into the offseason in terms of quarterbacks. Well, here's what we know. He's the only guy that's definitely under contract next year. Heineke's a free agent.
Yep.
I don't think you're going to keep Carson Wentz. I'm just going to break that news right now. I just don't think that's happening.
No.
So I think Sam Howell is in the best spot right now because of the fact that he's here. There's this gentleman who wants us to see his sign.
He's the only undefeated quarterback on the sideline over there.
He's 1-0.
He's 1-0.
His first pass was a touchdown.
And you know what?
Yeah.
And I believe in energy. Not only did it happen on the day that Sonny Jurgensen number was retired, it happened against the Cowboys, who Sonny took through the ringers. So maybe it was a passing of the torch. Maybe it was here, young Wolf. Maybe you take this. Maybe you run with it. We seen number 9 retired today. It'll be so funny if we show up here 35 years from now and they retire at number 14.
I love about Fred Smith is he never gets ahead of himself, ever.
I'm just saying.
So one ACC Tobacco Road star to another is what you're saying. Of course, Sonny, the great Duke legend, and then that you're saying also
handed off to the
North Carolina Tar Heel. Wouldn't that be fitting? All right, we're going to take a break. 26-6 Commanders win it. We are out here at FedEx Field with you. It is the official postgame show with Fred Smoot, Scott Jackson. You're watching Command Center postgame live on the Washington Commanders YouTube channel and listening to Washington Commanders football.
It's fourth down, seconds on the clock. He hands it off, finds a hole in the middle. Clear, nothing but move! A touchdown for the win. I can't believe it.
Pizza, better with Pepsi.
You ever wonder why people are always on their phones? They're banking with Bank of America. Look at this guy. He bought those tickets on his credit card, and he's racking up the rewards.
She's using Zelle to pay him back for the hot dogs he's about to buy.
That's going to bring it to
And
a
the
close here
announcer?
after 3.
He's not checking the stats. He's finding some investment ideas with Merrill.
And third, as you know, in baseball means 3.
Digital tools so impressive, you just can't stop banking. What would you like the power to do?
Determination makes dreams happen.
We make paths that weren't there before.
It doesn't matter how far we have to go.
Or the obstacles we have to overcome.
And even when it seems like we can't go on, you're it.
We learn and we come back, stronger than before.
The all-new CR-V Hybrid and CR-V, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles.
Well, my baby doll gives me special love. It's the kind of stuff.
Honey, it's your turn.
I'm on cloud 9.
Pizza, better with Pepsi.
That's what you work for, dog.
Hey, we here now.
You see that fucking combination,
I hope trail ready.
Let's go now.
I'm a stinging. You know it. You already know it.
I know. I'm saying to you, I know.
Hey, Payne. Mike up. Mike up. Hey, let's go. Hey, be a dog today. When you watch film, look at yourself, you a dog. Be a dog today.
Let's go. Play hard, play fast. And when I pull you, all right? For just to get your air, all right?
Gotcha.
Let's go.
Man, first day back in his house. Shoot it. Oh, no.
Oh, hey, family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
You saw the one where I sliced in, off me. Yeah, I'm on it. Got the whole crowd on third down hype. That's hard. And I'm mic'd up. Good evening. That's us right there. Yeah, that's us right there, I think. Hey, Jamin. I need you reading your gap and going. Crashing out. That's what I need from you right here. You are first. You a first rounder. Let's go. We making plays. Let's go. We making plays, and I got you. Hey, Washington really cool, big dog.
I hate to happen to you. I know. Yeah, boy. That's my first game of my career.
Man, it's good to see you, though. Keep dogging it.
You straight?
A game where the Cowboys came in hoping to steal the NFC East. Eagles did not cooperate, rolled today, and Dallas literally fumbled chances immediately.
Oh, yes, they did.
Special teams blunders. Their punter unable to handle a snap, gets short field, then a muff punt later on. There's a lot of blunders, a pick six. Commanders win at 26-6 on Sam Howell's NFL debut. We are brought to you by Window Nation. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Pay nothing until 2025. Visit windownation.com. And it is it's a nice night. Originally, they were talking about rain, snow, but I think the skies have cleared, Fred. It feels like the skies have cleared.
You know what? The skies cleared, and they just let that peak of sunlight through right there at the end of it.
Yeah.
This is football weather. It felt like a game in January. It felt like Washington – Dallas, and I knew a little air was taken out of from the fan perspective because we couldn't go to the playoffs. But you got to feel good about these young group. Khalil Huxon, I called his name a couple times tonight. He was out there making plays. You got to be excited about the young youth in the core. Chase was out there running around making plays. Deron Payne, that's your future.
How about Jared Patterson?
Yeah, Patterson ran the ball well. Who I've been wanting to get a chance anyway. I tell people all the time, it's so hard to hit a shorter running back because it's hard to put something that's on the ground already, put it back on the ground. So at the end of the day, I'm happy for these youngsters, and this what like the torch towards next year, and that's all you can think about right now.
Yeah, and again, Sam, how he'll fit in that equation. Hopefully we'll hear from Ron Rivera here in a few minutes down in the locker room with the guys. We'll get to that. We'll get to calls in a bit as well, 800-493-1003, 800-493-1003, wherever you may be on Big 100 or around the Washington Commanders Radio Network. Let's talk Howell for a bit, though.
Yeah.
Certainly, had some errant plays. I mean, certainly interception to the end zone was like at least double coverage, might have been triple coverage.
It could have got picked out by 3 different Cowboys.
Yeah, it was not a great decision, but overall, threw a dime on the deep ball. His first pass to Terry McLaurin, I was saying to you in the press box, he threw the slant really well. We haven't seen a ton of slants from this team, despite the receivers that they have, which is kind of strange.
Yeah. I don't know if it was with Heineke because of his height, he couldn't get it through the windows. But with Howell, he got it through the windows. With Carson Wentz, I know that to me, his feet are so far apart. Throwing that right ain't really in his repertoire. So good to see that Howell can make every throw on the field. He can make the short routine throws. He can make the deep throws. He can make the intermediate throws. And he can make them with some heat. And good to see him make some plays with his feet. I thought that brought a different element to the game. He ran smart, not hard, and I can live with that.
Yeah, the touchdown run was a great run. And we saw some of that in the preseason, too, but you finally saw some real read option. I mean, some real zone read option. I mean, where a guy had the idea that, hey, I could keep the ball, I can take it around the end, and did a great job with that as well. So that was good to see. Let's get it into the locker room right now, throwing it down to Julie Donaldson and London Fletcher standing by with Chris Paul. Guys?
All right, we have Chris Paul joining us now. Coming into this game, Chris, if we talk to the coaches about maybe some players that might get a little extra time getting out there, your name was always mentioned. They wanted to get a look at you here, but it really isn't surprising because we've been hearing your name from the defense for quite a while. What was it like finally getting out there?
It was honestly such a blessing to just finally get out there and been working so hard all season and staying the course, obviously. And so getting this opportunity was an opportunity of a lifetime.
How did it feel to be out there playing in your first NFL start? But not only that, you're going against the Dallas Cowboys, and they got some dudes on that defensive line. And I highlighted you many times, and we highlighted you. You played your tail off in that game.
I appreciate that. And, man, what an opportunity. Like, just, again, if there's any first start you want to have, I believe it was this one. And I'm at a loss for words. I'm so grateful to just have had this opportunity and be a part of this team.
A lot of people that haven't been able to see you at practice or get to kind of hear how you have been practicing might say, okay, going up against this Dallas Cowboys defensive front, we know what they're capable of doing. Micah Parsons going out there. They would have probably anticipated maybe a little bit of a different outcome. But how much has it helped you going up against our D-line to kind of prepare for a moment like this?
I believe iron sharpens iron, and when you get to go against one of the best defensive fronts known to man day in and day out, I had no other choice but to be prepared for this moment.
Now, is this kind of like a bittersweet moment for you? You get your first start, you play well, and now the season's over. You're like, man, you kind of chopping at the bit, waiting for the next season to get started?
Yes, there's definitely that full aspect of bittersweetness just because it's like, man, that was so much fun, and it's like, what else? You want to move on, and so, but definitely looking forward and looking ahead to next season and especially the offseason.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate your time, Chris. Many more conversations to come with Chris. We do have head coach Ron Rivera going here now, so we'll let Chris go get showered. We always appreciate it when guys will take the time before they even get to the shower, the pads are still on, to be able to come here. We have Terry McLaurin going as well. So, but we've got this is what you want after a game is a rather a locker room that feels good about the performance they put out there, Coach Rivera. And all week we're coming into this, and I asked you, the players get asked nonstop, what did they have to play for? What did you like from what you got from what they played for?
Pride, more so than anything else. You know, we talked about it all week about setting the tone and tempo going into 2023. And nothing would be better than to beat our arch rivals and give us some momentum and something to build off of. And that's what I was really excited about, that they came and they did it. We talked about, and London, I know you can appreciate it, I said, I promise you right now, they're all in their locker room saying, hey, just hit them in the mouth and they'll quit. I told the guys, I said, nobody's going to have their car started. Their cars are not going to be packed and running, waiting for us to get off the field. I said, we're going to be here for the long haul. And that's what they did. They showed up and did that. I was really proud of them.
I'm glad you mentioned that because, you know, you've been around this game long enough and you're playing for nothing. And there's so many guys who have their cars packed already. But I saw you embrace Chris Paul after the game. And the way he played, it was just like you were so proud of him and the way he's kind of grown this season.
You know, proud of a lot of these young guys because of the way they've worked. They really have, you know, and they've waited their turn, they waited their opportunity, and when they've gotten it, they've all stepped up and taken it. I mean, you look at what Percy's done and Sip has done. I mean, you know, Christian Holmes, I mean, you know, and go right down there. Kalik got his opportunity, and Kalik played about as well as he played like he practiced. They said he practiced hard. He did some really smart, and he did that today. So just really proud of these young guys that have all stepped up.
What about your rookie quarterback, Sam Howell? You wanted to be able to get a good look and kind of evaluate him as you do now go into the offseason with question marks at that position. Where are you in the confidence of what he has and the performance that he did today?
I think, Julie, you know, that's a great question. That there is reason to be optimistic. You know, we can build off of that. We can grow from that. Our guys came off the field with confidence, and when you talk to the receiving corps, you talk to Terry, you talk to Jahan and Curtis, and they all talk about what it can be going forward. So that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that type of optimism because it's something we can build off of.
You mentioned a couple of guys on your defense, Percy Butler, Kalik Hudson, but the defense in general, it seems like they took this challenge of going against the Dallas Cowboys personal, and I mean they played outstanding football. The Dallas Cowboys, they were trying to win that ball game, but Dak had his worst game in his career.
Well, you know what was really interesting about it, London, and the point being this: when you're missing certain pieces, you want to show everybody that these guys are valuable, but they're part of what we do. And I think that's what some of these guys took into it. And I'm real proud of how a lot of these young guys stepped up and took advantage of the opportunity. Also want to give credit to the coaching staff. You know, the defensive coaches came out and they piecemealed it. And so what we did is when we wanted to run Buffalo, we used a different safety. When we wanted to run our sub package, we used a different safety. When we wanted to use our one linebacker, we used 6 DBs. I mean, so we were looking to make sure we matched it properly and gave the guys ownership of their opportunity to play, and they took it.
And no substitution errors either.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
That's big time.
Coach, it's great to be able to see guys enjoying this win because nobody really kind of gave them a chance in this game. They did not give up. They continued to fight, playing for pride and to get the victory for this. But it is kind of bittersweet because this is the final game of the season. It is the end. And tomorrow brings about some very difficult decisions around the league. How do you approach tomorrow? What are you anticipating?
Well, what I'm anticipating is an opportunity for us to, first of all, have our exit interviews with the players, get a feel for where we are and what's going on, how they all feel about themselves. And then we'll start the evaluation process, and we'll go from there. We'll have 3 days of it right off the bat. We'll take a few days off, come back, and then finish up next week.
All right, a lot yet to still be done and accomplished this offseason.
Coach, did you celebrate a birthday recently?
Yes, I did.
Happy birthday.
Thank
great
you, guys.
Birthday present.
It really was, too. It was awesome.
Yes, happy birthday. You made it another year.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was really good, and it was a great way to end it. I wish we could be getting ready to play next week, but unfortunately we're not. But I really want to tell you guys I appreciate you guys. I really do. I thought this was a great team effort right here, and I just appreciate working with y'all.
Thank you. We appreciate it. All right, so the offseason is coming, which a lot of difficult decisions will be made, of course, evaluations, as you said, of the coaching staff and of the players as well. But if you're going to do an evaluation of this receiving core, it's pretty lock solid. And it's lock solid starting right here with this guy, Terry McLaurin. We are live.
What's up?
We're live, man.
I didn't know it was live.
Yeah, we roll live here, Terry. Look, I was talking with the coach about, this begins, unfortunately, it's a very bittersweet day here. It's great to end the game the way that we did, you getting that touchdown reception from Sam Howell, the first pass in the game. but it does mark the end.
Yeah.
How do you process all those emotions?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot. I think speaking presently, it's great to end the season on the right foot and with a win, especially with a win against a good football team like that. And, and then you start to process things. We wish we were in the playoffs. You know what I mean? I think we had our opportunities at the end of the season to control our destiny, and we didn't take advantage of that. And so that's the disappointing part of it all. But, I think we have some good pieces on this team to go into the offseason with some momentum, and hopefully we can come back better next year.
Terry, you caught that first pass from Sam, first touchdown of his career, and you threw the ball in the end zone. But I see the ball over in Sam's locker, so they negotiated to get the ball back.
Yeah.
You're gonna
I was
give
tripping.
up
That's
something?
That's on me. Because I'm usually, like everybody knows in the locker room, I'm usually the guy, like I know pretty much everybody's first touchdown, so I'll make sure I get the ball for everybody. And I was so shocked, like I scored so quickly, especially on that concept. And so when I got the ball, I usually sometimes throw it to the fans, and once I threw it, I was like, dang, that was his first touchdown. So everybody's, giving me crap for it on the sideline. But Drew and the EQ staff were able to negotiate to get the ball back for him. And on his rushing touchdown, I made sure I grabbed that for him. So both his touchdowns today, he should have the ball. So he had a great day.
We did see and make sure we were watching that second one. Okay, Terry went and got the ball, making sure it was Terry that got the ball, even though he rushed it. I'm not sure what they had to negotiate: season tickets, a price tag, dinner with you. Glad that Sam will have that ball. But look, Terry, we talk a lot since you've been here. The uncertainty that we've had, the rotation of quarterbacks, and here you are once again with a different quarterback and a rookie quarterback in Sam. How was his performance for you? What did you see from him?
Yeah, I think Sam has been poised all year, the way he's handled his business. I think when he's ran the scout team, he's looked like a NFL quarterback. Some of the throws he makes, it just makes you go, wow. And the way he came in here today and was aggressive, he gave our playmakers chance to make plays down the field, and that's all we asked for. And he used his legs when he needed to. Even, when we had a turnover, it's like it didn't faze him, you know what I mean? And that's what you love to see out of a young guy getting his first start against a NFL, like as a top 5 defense right there, playing for a lot today, and so just to see the performance he had and the composure and, one thing you look for, the speech that he gave in this locker room, I think that says a lot about the potential leadership that he could have for our team. So I think he has really thrown his hat in the ring to be one to compete for the starting quarterback spot next year.
Terry finished the season 8-1. How close do you think this team is to getting over the hump and really making a difference in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think we're close. I think we were there, sitting at last few games before we went into that first Giants game. We had a chance to control our own destiny, and usually sometimes those playoff games come to the last few, but we could have wrapped it up early, and so that's on us as a leader. I think I could be better and as well, but truly I think if we go into this offseason, I trust the coaches to do what they need to do in personnel-wise, but as a leader, I'm just going to make sure I come back better. Whoever the quarterback is, I'm going to support them, and I just think we could just finish better. You know what I mean? I think in the red zone offensively, we could finish better, not having as many negative plays, because I think we moved the ball on pretty much every team this year, but those negative plays or halting ourselves in the red zone really hurt us offensively. So I think we could have a chance to clean that up and make some noise next year.
We have Jahan Dotson that we're about to have here in just a second or two. Yeah. How nice has it been having him out there on the field to help you?
Man, he's been great all year. Like I've said since I met him, he doesn't carry himself like a rookie. He really carries himself like an NFL pro, and he knows how to run routes. He knows how to get open. And, one of his routes today, I was running my route too, and he was open so fast. I was like, he had to kill him. So I can't wait to go look that route up on film. You know what I mean? But, he's a great teammate, and I think the sky's the limit for him, truly. And it really makes my job easier, Curtis's job easier when you have another weapon like that.
I think I know which route you're talking about, and he left the dude's jockstrap in the middle of the field.
He's been killing dudes on that route all year, and I just think it's a testament. Like I said, he's so mature in his route running so early, and I think if he continues to build on that, I think he can be another 1,000-yard receiver for us.
Well, let's go ahead and bring in the 1,000-yard receiver. Terry, thanks so much. It's always an honor and pleasure to talk with you, one of the leaders of these teams, and we'll see you throughout the offseason as well when we can. All right, so let's go ahead and bring in Jahan Dotson, the guy that we're talking about here. Your ears have to be burning, but I don't know, Jahan, if you were hearing what Terry was saying about you, but he tips his hat to your ability to route run, to say that you didn't come in as a rookie, and that was kind of the early scouting report we got on you as well, that you are kind of mature beyond your years. Now that season, your first rookie season is done, how do you feel that you've adjusted throughout the year?
Yeah, I had a lot of learning moments throughout the year, learning from guys like Terry, like Curtis, and just making sure that I come in each week and I'm ready to learn. I'm super blessed just to be in this moment, have this opportunity to really play with these guys, and I can't wait for next year.
As the offense got a little bit stagnant in the second half, it was like I'm up at the booth saying, hey, they needed to open up a little bit more. Yeah. And right away they come to you on a first down play and then come to you another time on a big key, I think, third down conversion. What does it feel like to know that the offense and the coordinator trust you so much in those critical situations?
Yeah, that's what you want. You want the offensive coordinator to trust you. You want the quarterback to trust you to go throw the ball to you. So I just try to do my job and get open. And I knew Sam was going to put it on the money. That's just what he does. And then I was able to make some plays.
Folks didn't know what to anticipate from Sam Howell, a rookie, taking over. You've been able to kind of see him all season long in practice, especially when he was the backup quarterback to Taylor Heineke. What do you make of how he was able to come in here and lead this offense and what we could expect from him?
Yeah, I've been watching him do it since I came in with him, rookie minicamp. The arm talent he has is bare none. He's able to make things look so effortless, so easy. I love having him back there. He's truly a good dude. He's patting you on the back when you make a play. So it was something that we've seen every single week. It was just time for the world to see.
As the season comes to an end, have you kind of thought about what's going to be your approach to the offseason when you start to kind of get ready to start back training and things like that?
I haven't really thought about it too much. I just know I'm ready to get after it. I don't really do anything besides play football, so I'll probably get after it early and just can't wait to build on next year.
London wants to come play video games with you in your kitchen. Your kitchen, mind you.
Yeah, I'm in the kitchen. I'm set
You're still
up,
in the kitchen,
man?
man?
I'm in the kitchen. My parents come up every weekend. They begging me to take the TV out the kitchen.
Oh my
but
goodness.
I haven't moved it yet. I'm still posted up in the kitchen.
Well, here's the difference. It's your home now, right? You get to do what you want. Sorry, Mom and Dad. You got to go watch the TV somewhere else. Just order food delivery. Right. The kitchen is taken. Congratulations on a great rookie season, and we look to so much more from you to come.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Okay, Jahan Dotson. We're going to bring in Tressway, but before we do bring in Tress, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Washington Commanders football.
That's a stare down right there. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
Well, We do have Tressway coming back here now. We're just getting nice little handshakes because when you are with the absolute best punter that there is in the NFL, you've got to greet him with it. No, I mean I'm always a little bit of a homer here, but look, you are going to your second Pro Bowl, so congratulations on that and the way that you have handled the ball this season, very deservedly so. You know what to expect, but what would you say about how the season has gone? I hate to say it that it's now officially over.
Yeah, I think that this game was an awesome way to finish, but it's almost a little bit frustrating because we had so many of those moments this year where it was like, man, when we're rolling, we'll go up against anybody. Like, we just play our game, we'll go up against anybody. But I do hope that a lot of the younger guys, because man, are we stacked, and I just hope that feeling, that hunger, and them realizing okay, we were in the mix, and we lost it. We were going to the playoffs and we lost it, and I had never been a part of something like that, and it's my 9th year. So I really hope that sticks in everybody's craw a little bit, and then we get fired up in April.
Turpin, their punt returner, muffed a punt. You forced, I think, 3 guys to muff punts. Now, did you put one of those special kind of spins on that punt?
I love that you say forced. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly.
you. Yeah, just forced it. So all this week, obviously, we knew how dangerous he was back there, and so I was just really emphasizing maybe my nose up, little nerdy specialist talk. Nose up a little more allows the trajectory to go up, and I thought that maybe if he's trying to dance around with it back there, he doesn't fair catch a lot. And sure enough, maybe the wind, maybe a little last-minute voodoo, we got the ball. So it was pretty fun to be a part of another one.
And look, you do your job. You can force that. We were even saying in the booth, Tress is doing some Tress stuff with that left leg of his, the voodoo to the ball. I wanted to look to see if you had that double hop, but while I couldn't watch to see if you had that double hop to know that you really launched one. But what do you make of the guys, too, being able to turn the ball over, run it back, be able to just really – it was a team effort there on special teams today.
Yeah, that was so fun. Their special teams are really good. And so all this week, Coach Nate Katzer had just been on us about, hey, this is our job, and you don't have a great year all year to check out that last game. Like, put the nail in the coffin, cement who you guys are, and go out and take care of business. And it's such a fun energy, and it's such a fun team, and I'm just very thankful to be a part of it.
Man, season's coming to an end. Any plans prior to the Pro Bowl or any fun things in family going out to the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, so the whole family's going out to the Pro Bowl. I had to send in my request for the post-game party tickets, 30 tickets.
30 tickets?
Yeah,
wow.
So wife's one of 5. I got 2 brothers, nieces, nephews, wives, spouses, all that. So I think the thing that I'm most excited for is my son, Bo, who had a Terry McLaurin jersey on today. Terry's his favorite player. Terry will be there. But I am very excited that he knows – it's football. Like, it's just going to be a fun experience to take him to practice. I don't think we're punting in a flag football game. I'm going to sneak him down on the field, and we can watch. And yeah.
Well, the great part about this, you'll get to play another position.
All I know is I'm really hoping to get into Eli Manning's ear and say, hey, man, let me take one deep freaking fade, and I'm just going to look at Terry and go, Terry, go. Like, Terry's down there somewhere, man. I'll just.
Well, how far are you going to toss it to him?
I'm not sure, but I think I get a little bit of help with the elevation in Vegas, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe I'll get an extra 5 yards. I'll give it a 50 piece. I'll throw it out there.
I like it.
He did have the 52 today from Sam Howell. Let me ask you this final question here before we let you go. You've been in a lot of locker rooms. Yeah. You are the OG here in this, with so many guys being just kind of really young and new to it. How would you describe the way this room comes together? Yeah, I think. Thank you for asking, because I don't think they quite get enough praise for how they handle themselves. John Allen, Terry McLaurin, Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Payne, Logan Thomas are superstars. Like, our guys that you just know you can lean on for every game and there's multiple more, but those are the guys that quickly came off the top of my head. They are so humble. They're so approachable. They are team guys. They talk to everybody, hang out with everybody, and so that to me, having that kind of leadership in the locker room where they're just dudes but they're freaking superstars, that is what separates it for me, and it has been so special to see that. But I did want to put that out there, that comes from the top down of those guys, and I don't think it's any accident that how Coach preaches to us and encourages us. So yeah. There's another superstar, Revo. Jeremy Reeves is decently approachable as well, so yeah, you could add him to the list. Yeah. And you'd put yourself in that conversation too, or we will for you.
Thank you.
Trust, thanks so much. We will see you at the Pro Bowl. I will definitely be out there. We're trying to rope London into coming out there as well. Yeah. He wants to. But we're going to set it up to Fred and Scott right now. We will be back when Sam Howell joins us.
In London, Chris Paul, Ron Rivera, Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson in there, Tressway, who's going to take our job someday, as you can tell.
Yeah, most definitely. I love Tressway. I love the personality. I love the clutch pun. Left feet punters.
Well, he's also left-handed.
Yeah, he's also left-handed. but punters that kick with the left, they are hard to return. You can be Mitch this. You can ask any returner. They don't like that counterclockwise spin on the ball.
All right, Ron Rivera's conversation with Julian Leonard was brought to you by Finch Turf, your exclusive John Deere golf and sports turf dealer. All right, let's get into some of that Sam Howell stuff when we get back. We'll hear from Sam Howell as well. A win in his first ever start as the Commanders starting quarterback today. Will he be going into next season? That's something we'll talk about next.
Yeah.
You're watching Command Center Postgame Live on the Washington Commanders YouTube channel and listening on the Washington Commanders Radio Network.
Big 100.
Dude. Fire. Grill master, huh?
Burgers, better with Pepsi.
For 50 years, you loved playing the Maryland Lottery. All the fun we have and good we do is thanks to you. Thanks for playing.
Determination makes dreams happen.
We make paths that weren't there before.
It doesn't matter how far we have to go.
Or the obstacles we have to overcome.
And even when it seems like we can't go on, you're it.
We learn and we come back stronger than before.
The all-new CR-V Hybrid and CR-V, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles.
Washington Commanders football is back, and so is our BOGO. On game day, buy one large pizza and get a second large pizza for free. Order online or download the app today. Paisanos, official pizza partner of the Washington Commanders.
We had one workout at Georgetown University, and, I'd never really met Sonny before. I'd just come in the night before, and we went out to practice, and practiced. And then afterwards, kind of walking out the gym together, I asked Sonny, I said, by the way, where can you get a chocolate milk around here somewhere? And he said, well, jump in the car with me, and we'll find a place. And we went up Wisconsin Avenue and found a place, and we've been friends ever since. Well, naturally, he had a great arm and could throw the ball. But what was very telling about him, he had such a touch. I mean, sometimes when he threw the ball, it seemed like it went around linebackers or it went over linebackers' head, right into the receiver's arms. He had such a great touch and just a wonderful delivery. And I tried to copy him many times. I think he made me a little better passer because I tried to copy some of his moves.
26-6 win on the day they retired Sonny Jurgensen's number, and a day Sam Howell made his NFL debut with a touchdown pass and a touchdown run, and right now he joins Julie Donaldson and London Fletcher down in the locker room. Guys?
Sam Howell joins us now. Sam, throughout the season, you've been one play away from getting in the game, backing up Taylor Heineke, but a lot different approach this week when Coach said that you were going to be the starting quarterback. How was the week preparing for this? What were the nerves like pregame before you finally went out there under center?
Yeah, I mean, I was just ready to get out there. As soon as Coach told me I was going to have the opportunity to start this week, I was just excited to get out there. And this is an opportunity that I waited for all year long, and I feel like I prepared for all year long. So it was just fun to get out there and play football again. I mean, I think when I was sitting back kind of watching this year, it made me realize how much I really love the game of football. So it was just so much fun to get an opportunity to go back out there.
First career pass goes for a touchdown to Terry McLaurin. I think is one of only 8 quarterbacks in
Correct.
NFL history
Since 1991.
to do that. How'd you feel, man? First pass and it goes for a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. Shout out to our defense and special teams for giving us the ball down there, and all I got to do is get Terry the ball in space, and he's gonna make good things happen. And he kind of came open on the shallow route, so I just gave him a ball, and he did the rest.
He said he was a little surprised how quickly he scored. It even took him by surprise that he threw the ball away. Were you thinking when he threw that ball into the stands, wait a second, I need that?
Yeah, honestly, I was just happy we scored. I wasn't even thinking about the ball. But as soon as we got to the sideline, the equipment guys told me Terry threw the ball in the stands. And really, I didn't really care. I was kind of happy just to have that moment and to get on the board first.
When you oftentimes you get in the game and it seems like the game kind of slows down more for you. It's practice is a lot faster. Did you feel that kind of like the game was a little bit slower than practice?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think I believe that my whole entire career. I think things kind of open up more in games, and the games are really kind of slower than practice, and that's just a credit to how we practice. And we had a really good week of practice. It was really important for us to get some good timing down with the receiver, just because we haven't played together at all, and so practice was really important this week, and I think it really paid off in the game today.
How about the run game, the ability to really kind of use your legs? I think we were talking about how you had more rushing yards than any Dallas Cowboys running back out there, which is a testament to our defense, but also to your ability to get out and run. How does that kind of really help you approach this position?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just another thing that the defense has to account for on third down. If they're doing a good job covering our guys, there's some running lanes, and I just try to take advantage of those when the opportunity presents itself. But I do definitely think it's a weapon of mine that I'm going to try to continue to use.
You mentioned the timing with your receivers. The first deep ball that you tried to get to Terry, I don't know if you didn't kind of anticipate his speed. The second time, it's like you launched that ball and let him run underneath it. Was it something that you made an adjustment to kind of get acclimated to Terry's speed?
Yeah, well, really the first time we were hot, so they had a free guy, so I really didn't get everything into that throw.
Okay, gotcha.
I just saw him one-on-one, and I knew I had to get the ball because we were hot. They had a free guy, so I was just trying to give him a chance. But second one, I was able to get something into it, and Terry made a great play.
Fans love that. We've been hearing about your arm and the accuracy, and to be able to get that to come into play. They were really kind of waiting for that. Look, we know this game, Coach has said it, it's to really kind of be able to evaluate what they have with you as a quarterback and under center. Your teammates will sing your praises. You went out there, you did your job. Where are you approaching your position as we go into the offseason?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to continue to control what I can control. They're going to make whatever decisions they feel is best, and I'm just going to try to keep getting better and just keep trying to become the best player I can be. And I'll come back, ready for next season, ready to go, whatever the situation is.
All right, Sam Howell, congratulations on today. Very bittersweet day. Great performance from the rookie, but of course it does mean the end of the season. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Man, it's really rough. It's bittersweet. I'm in this locker room. You could just feel the joy that these guys had, really kind of celebrating with each other because nobody really gave them a chance against the Cowboys. The Cowboys did not come out ready to play for this one. It was Washington that just enforced their will on all sides of the ball.
Well, and it's surprising when you think about what the Cowboys were playing for. They had an opportunity to potentially be the #1 seed in the NFC, and really we took it to them, and they never matched our intensity and physicality and just the approach to the game. And credit to Coach Rivera and how he had his team prepared, had our team prepared to play this football game.
Yeah, unfortunately, as we got into the month of December, this team did not perform the way that they had anticipated, the way the fan base had really wanted them to as well. And so when they had their opportunities to control their destiny, it wasn't there. But today, at least they did give the fans something to cheer about, something to look forward to as we do go into 2023. Tomorrow is a very hard day in the NFL. And as Coach Rivera said, he's going to be saying goodbye to his players for the offseason, and then they'll start evaluating.
Yeah, but, it's a difficult day. The great thing about it, we end on a high note. We beat our hated rival, the Dallas Cowboys, and you saw a lot of young players, some rookies, step up and make some plays in this ball game. So a lot to look forward to.
All right, that's going to do it from down here in the locker room. It was really kind of great to come into a locker room that was enjoying the win, but also kind of sad understanding that this is our last time coming back here as well. London and I, of course, will be bringing coverage throughout the offseason, and we'll be there tomorrow morning for Locker Cleanout, bringing you interviews as well. But let's now go back to Fred and Scott.
Done a great job this season with all the post-game stuff, bringing us the interviews, the raw emotion of the locker room. And today, that joyous emotion. Last week was a downer, obviously.
I don't know if it's joyous, Jack. How do you feel? Because
the players, I'm saying, were joyous.
Yeah, they were because
they want to win.
But I'm asking, how should we feel as a fan base, as an ex-player, as a player, as an Old Dominion guy? How should we feel about this? Because I think it leaves more question than it gives answers.
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, you say, all right, we happy because we beat the Cowboys. I don't care when it is, preseason, whenever. If it was just a pickup game in the backyard, we beat the Cowboys, we love it. Yeah. But how do you feel not making the playoffs, knowing that you won't play anymore? So if I'm a fan, do I leave here happy? Or do I leave here confused? Or do I leave here mad because some people going to say, we should have played Sam earlier.
Yeah.
Some people going to say,
Yeah. I think all of them are fair emotions to have right now, right?
Yeah,
I think all of them are fair. I think look.
You're listening to the Washington Commanders Radio Network. Also on the iHeart.
Determination makes dreams happen.
We make paths that weren't there before.
It doesn't matter how far we have to go.
Or the obstacles we have to overcome.
And even when it seems like we can't go on, you're it.
We learn and we come back stronger than before.
The all-new CR-V Hybrid and CR-V, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles.
One bag.
The winter play was really coming together. Until disaster struck. Tensions were high. Luckily, replacement costumes were shipped with FedEx, which means Mr. Harvey could picture the perfect night. We're ready for the holidays, so you're ready for what's next.
Thank you. I appreciate this. You want one of these?
I'm good, KG.
You want your ginger shot?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
I need some positivity today. I'm trying to cover this spread, and your vibe is off, G.
What's wrong with my vibe?
You got to get you one of these, G. Get to sip some of this positivity in your life, and boom! You see that? Spread's covered. Thank you, Mama. In a minute, G. Ha-ha!
Speaking of that room, got a bunch of guys playing at a high level. We know about Payne and Jonathan. Sweat having a heck of a year. Casey, doing great. And FA doing your timeout. What's that competition like? Once you got back in the mix too. I know you coming off injury, but you want to produce too.
Yeah, no, definitely. Everybody. I feel like we have a standard in that room. Mm-hmm. It ain't just me. We got Tez.
Yeah.
It ain't just Payne. We got John. Right. It ain't just James. We got Casey. FA. He coming there. I missed 2 sacks the other day. We getting there. Deshaun a strong dude, right?
Yeah.
But man, it's competitive. FA go get one. I'm like, I bet for sure. I gotta go. But it's good.
Yeah,
I love it. Mm-hmm. Ted, same thing with Ted. Ted know if I go get a sack, he got to go get one. He know that. That's just how we play. Same with John and Payne.
Yeah.
They competing. Who gonna have the most sacks in the room?
When you mentioned Trent Williams going against him, we all know how Trent regarded as the best left tackle in football. And when you were able to have him, on skates a little bit, get Trent a little bit, that gave you some confidence.
That gave me some confidence for sure.
I saw you split him one time. I saw you gave him and you did this and you got me skinny. I said, oh yeah, he got it. He feeling good right now.
But like Santana said, I was watching the game differently. I had 15 weeks, and plus after I got hurt, I went to got surgery and stuff, but it changed, man.
First NFL touchdown pass on his first pass attempt in a real game. Sam Howell joins 8 other quarterbacks to do that since 1991, and a 26-6 win for the Commanders today. Also had a touchdown run. Sam Howell, your offensive player of the game, brought to you by Victory Van Moving and Storage, delivering excellent service for 75 years and a proud partner of the Washington Commanders.
You say since what, 91?
Yes, since 91. So it's been 8 quarterbacks.
The year that you graduated Old Dominion, so that was a very special year right
Well,
there.
2 years later I did. That was the last. 91 was the, of course, Super Bowl team, last Super Bowl team here.
So you was a part of greatness. With you leaving Old Dominion, with us winning the championship,
exactly.
You got to go to the parade.
Yeah,
then you got to go back to campus.
I think I went to 3 parades, I guess. 3 parades in all. I did go to the first one. It was hard to see because it was raining and everybody was in buses. But, the second one was a lot of fun, too, in 88. And, of course, this one was awesome. That was one of the best teams ever, not the 91 team.
I've been saying,
well,
it was one of those teams that the flaw was hard to find.
Right.
The wide receiver core, they could run the ball, they could block everybody. They had a defensive line, they had defensive backs, and they was a pure team. And I asked Coach Gibb about that last week while I was here, what made those teams so good. And he was like, this family, man. I didn't have to talk to Gary because Gary was already talking to Ricky, and Ricky was already talking to Armand. He was like, he said, I rarely coached that team. I put them on the line. I went out there and told them to go win games, and that's what they did. Before we was really cut off, we talked about the emotions of a fan. How should we feel today? We feel good because we beat the Dallas Cowboys. Let's put that in the back. No matter if it was a pickup game, preseason, or postseason. Now,
or the congressional game that you played in this year.
Yeah, the congressional game, and we lost to the security guards again. All right?
Yeah.
But how do you feel as a fan right now? Are you confused? Are you happy? Are you sad because we're not going to the playoffs? Are you wondering about all the stuff that in the offseason that we don't know about? How do you feel? Where are your emotions right now? Like, I don't know how happy I am. I'm happy we won.
Right.
I'm mad that this is the last time I'll be coming to FedEx this year. Well, not this year, earlier this year.
Right, I got
so
you.
I'm kind of mad about that.
Well, look, I'm happy for Sam Howell, and I'm happy we got to see that, although
the young wolf.
You know, you wonder, going forward where it's going to be for him. I think there's a lot of benefits in letting him be at least part of a competition going into the next season. You and I have discussed this before about a rookie contract with the quarterback, how many other areas you can address. We talk about
Every
the importance of wanting to improve in a lot of areas and potentially keep Deron Payne.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that if you're going to go out and spend big on a quarterback this offseason. I just don't see that being realistic. And, at the end of the day, you may not be able to anyway.
Well, this one you subtract the 28 million from
Right.
Carson Wentz. You push
Right.
that out the way. It's a couple of things. William Dollar Bill Jackson III. He comes off of the books. Everything comes off the books. But then I had to look at myself and ask myself, all right, today, Sam Howell went 11 for 19, 169 yards, a touchdown on the ground, a touchdown in the air. His stats are not really any different from Heineke.
But did they really let him, though? I mean, but he had 35 yards rushing, I think, is the bigger deal. The PI is a big play as well that's in there. And, look, they took the air to the ball at the end of the game. I don't know why they kicked a field goal from 20-whatever yards at the end of the game. It doesn't tell me anything going into the offseason. I want to see Sam Howell on a fourth down get an opportunity to convert instead of just, running some play off tackle to, Patterson. I don't think that does anybody for anything.
I totally understand, but when we've let any quarterback in this offense throw 25 times or under, they have the same stats. You can see where I'm going here. Because now this this is a Scott Turner thing, though. When you look at it, this is a Scott Turner thing because every quarterback that plays and throws under 25 attempts comes up with 160, 180 yards. Yeah. That's what Sam Howell was tonight. So is it hard to grade who Sam Howell is if we have Scott Turner calling the plays? Because they are very similar. Like you make a play, you make a first down, then you come back and run a reverse that gets stopped in the backfield for 8 yards.
Yeah, those are drive killers.
We've seen this story time and time again. So can we ask the question, is Sam Howell that much of a baller that he did it beyond the coaching? Or is Sam Howell a part of the machine that we have running here?
Well, I think he could be part of something if given the opportunity, but obviously that remains to be seen. All right, by the way, that touchdown pass to McLaurin, it was a two-play, 20-yard drive after the muff punt. And it set up that touchdown.
That's how I like my drive. 2 plays, 20 yards. That's how I like my drive.
Yeah, 2 plays, 20 yards.
Yeah, that's how I like them.
After the muff punt, and that made it a 7-0 game, and obviously the Commanders never looked back. That is the safe drive of the game brought to you by Crown Royal. Live generously, and life will treat you royally. Please drink responsibly.
Yes, royally, like I am right
All right, so Sam Howell, 11 and 19, 169 yards touchdown. Also had 35 yards rushing on 5 runs, had a couple 9, 10-yard runs. He moved the chains a couple times with his runs. Numbers are brought to you by Novak, novak.com/save for simple ways to save. All right, phone lines are open, 800-493-1003, 800-493-1003 if you want to jump on board with us on the phone lines. And you asked what the fans think, what the emotions are. We'll find out now.
What are your emotions?
As we talk to our fans on the phone lines. Jordan in D.C. Let's go out to D.C. first.
Oh, Jordan in D.C., talk to us, brother. Tell us how you
What's
feel.
up, fellas?
Down, in between.
Hey,
talk to us, man. Tell us how you feeling.
Man, I'm so happy. I'm so happy we beat Dallas today, Sam Howell going forward, he could be the guy, he could not be the guy. We don't know. All season will tell us. Hopefully they can re-sign Deron Payne because with him, Allen, Montez, Sweater, Chase Young, that's a dangerous four there. But, man, I'm more curious about this offensive line because without an offensive line, this team ain't going to be nothing. So, man, I'm feeling good. Hopefully next year we can make that playoff spot. Thanks. Appreciate it.
But are you feeling?
Thanks for the call, buddy.
Is he feeling good only because we beat the Cowboys? Because it can get so fickle. It's like your brother.
It seems like you're trying to talk people out of being happy.
No,
which is very rare for you.
No.
You're usually You're like the mayor of happiness.
Yeah,
99% of the time. Even when we shouldn't be happy, you're happy.
I am.
So this is weird for me. It's like a role reversal I am uncomfortable with.
I know.
Very uncomfortable.
I live by it.
Yeah.
But I
so you're going to be the negative guy. 18 weeks into this thing, you're going to be the negative guy tonight.
Blame person D.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to say is this: at the end of the day, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm actually trying to get I'm trying to check the temperature and see how people feel about this because I know everybody in their euphoria. They get to have cooler talk and talk trash to the Cowboys for 1 week because after 1 week, here go the reality: the Cowboys will be in the playoffs and we won't.
Yeah, no doubt. And look, if Dak Prescott was terrible. I mean,
that was terrible.
I can't continue to say that enough. He was awful today.
I'm a Bulldog, but he played like a Beagle today. Both of us Bulldogs, he played like a Beagle.
I mean, that offense was awful. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. At one point, I'm thinking, why is he in the game? There's quarterback sneaking. He took kind of a tough hit.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, all it takes is him to get in concussion protocol.
And it's over
And it's the Cooper Rush show in the postseason. It made no sense to me. Because, again, if they were out-of-town scoreboard watching, the Eagles were never in danger of losing that game. Once they announced that Davis Webb was starting for the Giants, I knew that game was over.
Yeah, it was over with.
It was weird. I mean, again, a devastating injury. I understand maybe the Giants are going the Cowboys, are using that old Giants theory. Hey, we play every game. We're going to get momentum. And they actually did the opposite. They got no momentum out of it. They didn't get what they wanted. It was really strange, but maybe I guess you could say he got all the bad throws out of him. But
no, you know what? See, I know you've been married a long time, Jack.
Yeah.
See, I haven't. I'm divorced, all right? So I have to date.
You've been divorced for a long time.
I know. And then sometimes your girl sets you up for failure. All right, sometimes she sets you up to let you show her who you really are. All right, I feel like Jerry set the head coach up to show you who you really are because he might want to date Sean Payton? I don't know. Do he want to date Dan Quinn?
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
But it seems like tonight it was like go out there, win the game, let's end on a good note,
right.
And he didn't.
Interesting.
And so you know what? I had my woman like just say, you know what? Whatever you want to do it. I went out and did the wrong thing, divorced.
Yeah, I mean, once the Eagles were up, they had nothing to play for.
Yeah,
and they were up. I mean, they were never in danger of losing to the Giants once they announced Davis Webb was starting, let alone when the game got going. All right, let's get back to some calls. Joe in Springfield, you're next up here on the Commanders Postgame Show.
Hey, what's up, Scott? What's up, Smooth?
Hey, what's up, brother?
Say, Joe.
Hey, talk to us, Joe. How do you really feel? Don't give me no fluff. How do you really feel?
Well, Spoon, I remember I told you I saw him pregame. I said, who knows what could happen? I didn't expect us to blow out Dallas like that, but I thought it could be a little more competitive, and it was. We definitely shut down Dak Prescott. That was a shock to me. I mean, what was really interesting is that, to me, when they scored late in the half, and I thought, okay, you know what, maybe it's going to be competitive and go into the second half, but when they missed that extra point, which Brett Favre doesn't miss extra points often, that to me was like, are they done? And then, obviously, they put their foot off the gas in the second half, but I got to tell you something. Kendall Fuller, he had a game today. I mean, he missed that first interception, but he redeemed himself on the very next play, and that kind of set the tone as well. I mean, Sam Howell, props to him. I mean, this is. I wasn't expecting us to go in this way we did, but man, what a game! What a game!
Yeah,
I'll talk to y'all soon, man.
And I think the game took everybody on an emotional high because it gives them bragging rights for 6-7 days until reality hits in. And the reality is that the Cowboys will be playing Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. Don't you think Chase Young would love to play Tampa Bay again? Don't you think this roster would love to play Tampa Bay again? They felt like they pushed them against the ropes 2 years ago. Why couldn't they do it again? So, like I said, it's a lot there, but I've been in the locker room where we had to come out here and play this last game the best way we could because we got jobs on the line. Like the one thing that's coming tomorrow is Black Monday. I know everybody else going to go to their job, but in the NFL tomorrow, if you did not make the playoff, when you come in there and clean your lockout, for some of them brothers, that's going to be the last time you see them. And there go the reality and the difference of the NFL. The rosters are never the same. Your brethren will never be the same. Some people leaving home tomorrow, and they ain't coming back.
Today's game broadcast presented by NRG, a proud partner of the Washington Commanders. On that very happy note. Thanks, Fred. I mean, geez, nobody's coming home tomorrow. Sorry.
It's Black Friday. See, you ain't never know how I feel to walk in the house carrying a sack, you know, like you know how to.
I've been radio for how many years I've been fired. I've been fired. Come on, give me a break. What are you talking about? It could happen on a Monday, a Wednesday. It didn't matter. Radio. It didn't have to be on a Friday.
Hey, Jack ain't never walked in the house with that stick on his shoulder, with that sack on the bottom of. Is she like?
I just took a box. We just put a box, all your crap in there.
Baby, what happened?
Then if you had a bunch of junk you didn't like, you just left it at the station. You never cared about it again.
The NFL has quit me. Like when the NFL quit you, that's your first love, Jack. I've been loving her since I was 5 years old, 6 years old. When she leaves, ain't no comfort when she gone. Ain't no comfort.
Look at that. Working to some song lyrics. All right, 800-493-1003. Guys out here appreciate that. Let's get to Ruben in South Texas before we break. What's happening, Ruben?
Ruben,
go ahead. You're on the air, buddy.
Hello.
Ruben, you with us? Hey, bud.
Yes, sir. Right here.
All right, talk to us, Ruben. You in Texas? Talk to us.
Yeah, right here. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, Ruben, you're on the air, man. You got anything to say? Go ahead and do it now, or we're going to have to say goodbye.
Are you riding a horse? What's going on, Ruben? Talk to us.
I just want to say, go Hawks, baby. I'm a little bit disappointed we didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think tequila has sponsored Ruben.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Ruben.
Yeah, I think Ruben's sponsored by alcohol with a worm in it.
I don't know. I don't know. It could have been Tito's just in Texas.
It could have been.
Could have been a little bit of anything.
It could have been in Texas. He probably gone off moonshine. Probably pineapple flavor.
Yeah.
Maybe cactus.
Yeah.
All right, but I'm telling you right now, hey. He enjoyed himself, and that's what you want the fans to do.
Did.
You want the fans to enjoy themselves after an abrupt stop in a hard thing. But I can say this, fans, do what I'm going to do. And I'm going to sit back and I'm going to watch carefree football until the Super Bowl and just enjoy the process and enjoy these guys. Hey, I want to say this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say thanks, John Allen. I want to say thanks, Trust Way. I want to say thanks, Deron Payne. I want to say thanks, Kendall Fuller. I want to say thanks, all these guys, Jamin Davis, St. Juice, Terry McLaurin, Curtis, all of these guys. We went on a ride this year, and I think that's what y'all don't understand is these guys is out there living their dream on this field each and every Sunday, and they share that dream with y'all. So I know it didn't end the way we wanted it to end, but we got to go through that ride together, and that's what makes football families, and eventually we'll have our time in the shine, and we'll get to cheer on until what now, February? Yeah, the game is in February now, until February, Black History Month.
All right, by the way, we have good news coming up. We actually have
good news. They giving out free stuff
because they won. There's a deal for our fans. We'll get to that coming up in the next segment. We'll also get to our rewarding moment of the day as well of the game. Commanders 26-6 win over the Dallas Cowboys. More of your phone calls 800-493-1003 800-493-1003. And I will ask Fred Smoot the very important question: does a Week 18 win actually carry over any kind of off-season momentum? We'll get to it all coming up. You're watching Command Center Postgame Live on the Washington Commanders YouTube channel and listening on the Washington Commanders Radio
Big
Network.
100.
From selecting the perfect produce and triple checking its quality to preparing it for you, we have perfected the art of fresh.
Adventure doesn't wait. It happens here and now, in the moment. It doesn't back down, sit quietly, or follow the herd. It pushes the limits and empowers freedom of movement. Adventure grabs you and says, let's go places. Now get as low as 3.99% APR on Highlanders and RAV4s. Toyota, let's go places.
The modern world is a digital world. At home, at work, or on the go. We rely on data every day. Losing it can result in lost family photos, lost business, or even a lost job. Want to avoid these problems? You need cyber protection, where backup and cybersecurity meet. Only Acronis offers backup solutions that also stop ransomware before your files are damaged. It's easy, efficient, and secure cyber protection for all your data. Try Acronis free for 30 days. Go to Acronis.com today for modern cyber protection.
So what we got going on right now, when it comes to this trivia stuff, I'm glad they gave me a card because I hate it. And I'm glad I'm asking you something about yourself. Right. So 9 times out of 10, you might know. So, right. But I'm gonna ask you, because sometimes we don't, our brain might not be working. At Penn State, right? You caught for 183 receptions in your career. That was second to someone else. Who was the guy that has the most catches at Penn State?
Deshaun Hamilton.
Deshaun Hamilton. There you go.
Yes, sir. All right. You scored a lot of touchdowns in your career. What team did you score the most touchdowns against in your career?
What team did I score the most touchdowns? See, I told y'all I hate trivia, man, because I might be the one that don't know this answer. The most touchdowns. Lord have mercy. Is it the Cowboys?
It's not the Cowboys. It's in the division, though.
It got to be the Giants.
The Giants. 11
I know those two. See, the Cowboys had the most yards, so okay. Okay, so you was a long jumping state champ your sophomore year in high school. How far you jumped that year?
24, 4.5.
I mean, you know this thing to the T, man. You sure you ain't? You ain't
that wasn't too long ago.
That wasn't too long ago.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Frank Herzog on the end of the call. Grant Weinstein, Julie Donaldson, London Fletcher. That is the rewarding moment of the game, brought to you by the Maryland Lottery. Please play responsibly. That gave the team a 20-6 lead after the extra point. And because of the win, your Commanders win today. They bring home the win. Make sure you visit your local Paisanos tomorrow, where you can score free 8 wings. 8 free wings with your $20 purchase. Just use the promo code WINGS for a win. Thank you, Anna. Thank you.
And drip them in ranch.
That's so gross. But, I mean, do what you want to do, but, I mean, you can get blue cheese if you want to class it up.
We have had this discussion long before. Ranch or blue cheese.
Right.
And let me tell you something about this ranch. I put that on everything. You understand me? Tacos, regular bread, ranch.
A palate of an 8-year-old. Fred Smoot, ladies and gentlemen. All right, back to the phone lines. 800-493-1003. Butch is with us in Smithfield. What's happening, Butch?
Ranch or blue cheese?
Hey, Scott. Hey, Fred, man, you guys been a bomb all year on the post game. I've been listening to it. You guys been great. I appreciate everything you've done for the team, man. So, shout out to you guys.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Hey, listen, I got to say, this win was for Sonny. Sonny was the man. There's no way that Washington was going to go down against those sorry Cowboys today.
And so do you feel better as a Washington fan right now than a Cowboy fan, knowing that they going into the playoff with a loss and we ended the season with a win, and you feel a little bit better because we did end it with the win, sending them into the playoff with a loss, or what?
Absolutely, man. Any win is good. Regardless who's going to be the quarterback next year or who they bring in or who's the coaching staff, getting a win against the Cowboys is big time. I go back to, I was a teenager in high school in the early 70s, and I'm telling you, I remember the old days, and I remember rocking the aluminum bleachers in the end zone. Back in the old days at RFK, I'm telling you, anytime you can beat the Cowboys is a good day.
Yeah, I thank you for the call,
And I'm
Butch.
with you, man. Hold on, Butch. Don't leave me.
Yeah.
Did you leave me?
No, he's still there.
You still there?
No, I'm here, man. I'm here.
And if you want to say something to Sonny Jurgensen and thank him for his time as a Washington Redskin, as a commander, you can say it now. We're giving everybody a chance to say whatever you want to say and thank him for the time, because I was with Sonny today. I love Sonny. I love Sam Huff.
Did he give you a cigar,
and that
by the
history
way?
was everything. Yes, he did give me I got
awesome.
an SJ9 today, so whatever
That's
you want to
awesome.
say to Sonny, be free to say it right now, brother.
I love Sonny. I love everything he did, and he had the best arm in the NFL back in the day. Nobody has an arm like Sonny. He was the best. Sonny, I like Sonny. Bumper sticker was my go-to.
Oh, so you did pick the I like Sonny. He didn't pick the I like Kim. I like Bill.
Billy,
He didn't like that one?
We had them both in our house. I like that. I was
Amen.
Billy Gilmore told us
Amen
the
to
best,
Sonny.
man. Yeah. All right, Butch. Hey, thank you for the call, buddy. Thanks for your support this year.
Brother.
Appreciate it. 800-493-1003. Look, he's right. I mean, look, this like losing at the end of the season stuff. I feel like this is a 76ers thing. I mean, I really feel like trust the process, mindset, whatever. And look
at them now. The process.
It's a different sport, though, right? I mean, okay, would today mean the Commanders miss out on the next Joe Burrow? All right, would you be kicking yourself in the butt in the offseason?
No, we're not, because we weren't going to find. We're not going to find him in 17.
Right.
But
but you go back to like the 2019 year, and I mean, beating the Dolphins was costly, but that was like week 5 or 6 or whatever it was. I mean, you didn't know that at the moment.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I think you can drive yourself crazy.
Go out
I mean, at the end of the day, you would rather be the playoff team. You'd rather be the Washington, like years. There's years the Cowboys lost to this team twice and won the Super Bowl. Like their last Super Bowl team, they lost to the Washington Redskins twice. They lost to Farrat and Schuler in the same season and still won a Super Bowl. So, of course, you'd rather be the team that would win the Super Bowl or still playing. But for the here and now, for today, you always want to beat them. And you don't want them to come into your stadium and take over.
And the fans was obnoxious today. I saw blue and silver everywhere.
Of course they were.
And you know what?
They came all this way, and, they saw one touchdown.
Hey, you know what? Most of
these
these fans are from Washington that I saw
dressed
up in Cowboy stuff. I hadn't seen them all year. And then I see them today, and they come up, and I knew all of them was the middle child in their family. I could always tell a bitter middle child, somebody that don't feel love. You know why? Because the youngest get all the attention, and the oldest had everything. But the middle child turns his back on the whole city. The middle child turns his whole back on the fan base. And I saw them walk out of here with their head held down. The only thing they said while they was walking out of here today is we going to the playoffs, and y'all not. And that stung just a little bit.
But
Jack.
if they're out next week, do you think you feel a little bit better?
Oh, no. I told him 7 days. Y'all got 7 days.
They do have 7 days.
Y'all got because Tom Brady, it's a couple of people I don't bet on, I bet against in the playoffs. Michael Jordan, Tom Brady. All right, it's simply that. They go to the list. Michael Jordan, Tom Brady.
It's a short list. Let's get to James in Kentucky. James, you're next up on the Commanders postgame show. James, go ahead, buddy. Yeah, you, man.
Hey, how y'all fellas doing? How y'all doing, man? Hey, man. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in the season being over, but today I got to see Sam, and I know he stood on his floor real strong, but we yet to see his ceiling, so I have hope. So I look at Sam like he could potentially be our future quarterback. Hopefully that's what it is, so we can have some cap room to fix other spots in the team. I like what I've seen. I like his command of the offense. I like how he was patient. I like how he was resilient when he made a mistake, and he came back and finished the game well. I mean, there's a lot of positives to take from this game. And, of course, we ain't in the playoffs, and I know that's the downside of things. But, we young, and we got a lot of great players on this squad. I mean, we got stuff to look forward to. Like, people shouldn't hang their head low. I've been a fan of this team since the 70s. I was born in 74, and Washington been my team since 79. I've seen all the good and the bad with this. And finally, I'm starting to have some hope. I ain't had no hope since Robert Griffin III.
Ooh, Bobby, three sticks. Let me give you a scenario.
James, a young guy, 74.
Yeah, James, I'm finna give you options. All right, option 1: do you take Aaron Rodgers on a trade and pay him $40 million a year to give you a chance to win the Super Bowl? Option B: do you take Derek Carr at $25 million a year to try to give you a chance to Super Bowl? Option C: do you go into the year with Sam Howell, a.k.a. the Young Wolf? Which one do you choose, brother? With some cap room.
I'm going with C, and I'm gonna take the Young
Wolf. You going
Wolf,
with C?
And I'm
Young Wolf.
You taking the Young Wolf?
I'm gonna take the Young Wolf, and I'm gonna build up the rest of my roster, and I'm gonna let that Young Wolf go on out there and prove himself, because I think you got it in you. You gotta give somebody a chance, man. I mean.
The question is, will the fan base give him a chance? Will the fan base give Sam Howell a chance to develop?
Hey,
or do they want it now?
Sometimes you got to have that tunnel vision, man. You can't let the outside noise interrupt what you're thinking, man, because that could be a problem. You got to go with your gut, man. And that's what we're missing in the game. You got to go with your gut. I think that Sam Howell will prove himself and be a respectable, if not an elite quarterback. I think he got the tools. Because he can use his legs and he got an arm. Everything else can come. You know what I mean? With the right coaching getting acclimated to the system better, knowing his receivers more, just really having full command of the offense. And I don't see nobody else with the arm that he got except Wentz, and Wentz proved not to be, reliable. So let's go with Sam, a younger, fresher guy with a higher ceiling.
I like it.
All right.
Thank you, James. And with a low cap number.
Hey, I like
with a low cap number.
I like to put these.
Three more years.
I like to put these scenarios out here because they are realistic scenarios.
Right.
And what you
I don't think Aaron Rodgers is a realistic scenario for this team.
Yeah, I do.
I don't at all. I mean, first of all, the money. I mean, you might as well just go ahead and give it. You think the offensive line sucked this year at times?
Yeah.
Good luck next year with him eating up $48 million or $50 million. I also think there's a poison pill in that deal that we got to look at closer too that made it very difficult for them to do anything like that. And again, if he has options,
then because he got he has the okay to trade.
Right. And then again, you have to give up something in order to get him for 1 year. For 1 year, no.
I'm just asking. I gave scenarios.
I know.
And that's what I'm about.
The Derek Carr thing will be, I think, more realistic just because obviously you have a guy here who's head coach on this staff in Jack Del Rio, and that could be a conversation. But again, buyer beware. Why did the Raiders suddenly moved on?
I can say,
they didn't play better yesterday. They played better the first game without him. Yesterday they were embarrassment.
Hey,
but
do you think he's a used tennis shoe? Do you think he's a used Reebok Classic? Do you think Derek Carr has any more football left in him?
I think he's got more football. I just don't know if I want to be the one to do the experiment on him. This franchise, for a very long time, as you know, has not really gone the route of let's go with a young guy and make it better around him. And see how it goes.
Our three Super Bowls did not come from young guys. They came from guys that we
right. Joe was here for a while, and again, but a different era of football. You had no salary cap. You had a lot of things going on. I mean, this team had an injured reserve on the '91 team that could have beaten a lot of teams regular.
I understand.
I mean, they could have competed with John Cena was a 1,000-yard rusher sitting on IR all year. Yeah. Stephen Hobbs, ended up being a good NFL receiver. Kimo Cardell was on the IR his rookie season. I mean, they were stashing players left and right. It's a different world, but I hear you. I mean, they won with the veteran and Doug Williams, obviously. They won, but that year, remember, it was a collection of quarterbacks, and it was the scab team as well. It was kind of crazy.
Say, then you had the Mark Rippon year.
Rippon was at that time was still relatively youngish, but not young. Yeah, he had been in the system a long time.
Yeah,
but he had been, I mean, it's a different world. They practiced for multiple hours a day, where he could be on the side field with a Jerry Rome doing extra work while he was the third quarterback. But also you don't have that world now.
These kids go through throwing camps and 7-on-7 camps and they getting 10,000 passes before they get to college.
Right.
And where with Sonny and them, they didn't do that. They was handing the ball off a cloud of dust 3 yards, and then I make the throw when I have to. So, we got the things that make these kids is just as good with arm talent, but then with the repetitions in the physical part, they're not because they don't get it. They don't give it to the game. They don't get it to Sunday.
All right, let's get to this. We'll get to more calls coming up. 800-493-1003 if you're on the line. Hang in there. We'll take a timeout. YouTube folks are sticking around for a couple more segments. One more segment. All right. You're watching Command Center Postgame live on the Washington Commanders YouTube channel, listening on the Washington Commanders Radio Network.
Washington Commanders football is back, and so is our BOGO. On game day, buy 1 large pizza and get a second large pizza for free. Order online or download the app today. Paisanos, official pizza partner of the Washington Commanders.
Thank you. I appreciate this. You want one of these?
I'm good, KG.
You want your ginger shot?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
I need some positivity today. I'm trying to cover this spread, and your vibe is off, G.
What's wrong with my vibe?
You got to get you one of these, G. Get to sip some of this positivity in your life, and boom! You see that? Spread's covered. Thank you, Mama. In a minute, G. Ha-ha!
You ever wonder why people are always on their phones? They're banking with Bank of America. Look at this guy. He bought those tickets on his credit card, and he's racking up the rewards.
She's using Zelle to pay him back for the hot dogs he's about to buy.
That's going to bring it to a close here after 3.
He's not checking the stats. He's finding some investment ideas with Merrill.
And third, as you know, in baseball means 3.
Digital tools so impressive, you just can't stop banking. What would you like the power to do?
It's 4th down, seconds on the clock. He hands it off, finds a hole up the middle. Clear,
Pizza, better with Pepsi.
Tress, you remember my story with Chase. Obviously, going to Michigan myself.
Please tell the story, dude.
He's at Ohio State, obviously.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he was on the field goal block team. And this dude would be jumping over the line between the A gap, B gap, jumping up, trying to block the field goal.
Yeah.
And I've only smack talk once in my entire college career.
And he picked the biggest dude on the field?
And it was when we played them. We made the field goal, went right up to Chase. And
Heisman my ass.
I just
what
went
you
off.
said?
Yeah.
Oh,
and I went off on him.
It's always a long snapper.
I told Cheese.
And I told him.
Gets into it with a long snapper every game.
I told Cheese.
I told him, I said, throw a punch. I was like, let's get this guy. Yes, I was like, let's get this guy out of the game.
That's
all good for the
Dude,
team.
I told Cheese, I was just like, what if one day, like, the locker room's empty, and it just happens to be you and Chase, and Chase has a locker really close to the specialist. 3 down. And what if everybody's out of there except for you and Chase, and you're just sitting there, maybe you're getting dressed, and you turn around, and he's just rating your grill, and he looks at you and goes, I remember what you said.
What would you do?
I don't know. I'd probably. I don't know what I would do. I'd have to run or something.
ASAP and just start. You'd find a whistle.
I would yell for the guys in the equipment room.
Oh yeah, they're definitely not helping you.
Somebody help me out.
All right, back here, hour 2, Commanders post-game show. The Big 100, or wherever you may be around the Washington Commanders.
I like
Radio
how you
Network.
say that. You like to throw
Big 100?
Yeah, you like to throw my
the
accent
YouTube
under
channel.
there. Big 100.
Big 100. Or the YouTube channel. We're brought to you by Window Nation. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Pay nothing till 2025. Visit windownation.com. Well, that's what the young kids say, Big 100.
Yeah, they do, because Chase said Big 100.
Yeah, he did.
You know
He
what I'm
made that a thing.
And my kids come in all the time, Dad, I need some joys. How much they cost? 100. Like they
big
tell me,
100,
yeah, 100. They do cost 100.
All right, so Jackie answered your question via Twitter, and you said, are you happy, even though they won, blah, 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 the season's over. She says, happy, so, like with a lot of O's happy. They
All
won.
right.
I think we need to build around Howell, get some O-line, 2 linebackers, keep some of the no-name dudes that played today on the roster next year.
Danny Johnson.
Where were you guys, these guys 3 weeks ago when Curl and St. Just were out?
Danny Johnson was right there making plays like he was making plays today. I have watched Danny Johnson all year. I've been lobbying for this guy to get in. All he does is make plays. Every time you ask him to play the last 3 years, all he do is make plays. He says nothing. He goes in. He clocks in. He does his job. He's a blue-collar worker. Them are the guys that Coach Gibbs would say, that's a core other name we used to have. That's a core commander, and that's who he is. That's who he is. Danny Johnson needs to be resigned to this team ASAP.
All right. 800-493-1003. Before we move on, though, to take more phone calls, we need to pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Washington Commanders Radio Network. All right, Commanders winners today over the Cowboys, 26-6. Did you see right there in the graphic? Thank you.
Yeah, 26-6.
So Dak Prescott, this is his worst game in his NFL career. 14-30, 726 yards, a pick 6, and a touchdown, and a 48.5 rating. Apparently his lowest completion percentage of his
worst
career.
game of his career. Worst
he
game.
Was very off. Like, he was throwing the ball the wrong way.
Mm-hmm,
I mean, he was, dare I say, he looked like a guy we saw a few weeks ago here.
He looked like it looked like we had the veteran and they had the youngster.
Right.
And I think it has a lot to do with that injury he had early in the year. I just don't think it's healed. And when it ain't healed and you got Jerry down your throat, on your back, trying to get you to win a championship, you're going to go out there and make mistakes. See, right now we're seeing with the Cowboys, one owner pushing for excellency and not knowing how to get there. And that's what we're seeing with the Dallas Cowboys, because Dak didn't wake up all of a sudden and not know how to play football. It has everything to do with the injury and them forcing him in right now. I thought Cooper Rush headed down. They should have let him rest for 2 more weeks. And I think he'll be at 100% right now. I think he's at 80%.
He might have also been one of those just Mississippi State guys that was cold today.
No, he's not. No, he not.
Yeah, he could have been one of those guys. Hey, Rick in Arizona, what's happening?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Hey, man, glad to have a long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thank you.
I'm still terrible about the. Hey man, it's a pleasure to speak to you, Snoop. Washington D.C. resident from ICE. You know what I'm saying? I just moved out to Arizona, but long story short, I'm sorry that the season ended, but I'm hopeful because of what I saw. I saw a smart quarterback today, young, but he was poised. Hopefully we are not stupid and go out and waste our money on trying to find another quarterback. Go get some offensive linemen, some linebackers, and the cornerback, and we run this thing back and we'll win it all next year.
Oh, so your answer is simple. Let's run this thing back. Let's add to the plate and make it Thanksgiving. That's what you're saying. You're saying we got the turkey,
Absolutely.
we got the dressing, we're looking for a couple side dishes. All right.
Interesting. All right. Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it. You know what? Look, they might not have a lot of choices. We don't know what the offseason has in store in terms of ability to go out and do things, right, with the situation that's going on with the potential sale, so that could change things. Who knows, right?
Yep.
Like 99, they were kind of stuck in some situations, lost Trent Green, I mean, is a free agent and some other things happening here. So I don't know how this is going to work, how these things are going to happen, or maybe nothing's going to happen. Who knows? But anyway, that being said, that could obviously change the projection of things. But there's no question, no matter how you look at it, no matter how things shake out, if you are able to have Sam Howell in the mix with somebody even, the opportunities are more wide open versus going all in on yet another veteran swinging, giving up draft picks, giving up cap dollars.
Yeah, but you're going to have to give up something to be great. And here go the thing
you're going to have to bring other quarterbacks, don't get me wrong, because really right now Howell's the only guy under contract.
All right, so let's talk about
draft another quarterback, which
I like that.
I
like that what you said.
Yeah.
Howell is the only quarterback under contract. I'm sorry. If you look at Howell as the future, and I know people not going to like what I'm about to say, Jack. I know they ain't going to like what I'm about to say. But Heineke, a.k.a. Shane Falco, has a Tim Tebow effect. He cannot be a second-screen quarterback.
You don't think he can be a backup?
He cannot.
He knows your offense.
Because every time Howell messes up, they're going to call for him. They're going to yell for him. They're going to scream for him. So if you choosing to have anybody besides Heineke as your quarterback, he cannot be on your roster.
I mean, were they yelling for Heineke today when Hal threw an interception to the end zone?
No, we were still up. They front running. Right. They was enjoying
But I mean, literally
it.
last week, Carson went through one incompletion and they were doing Heineke chants. I mean, that was rough.
He's Theon Greyjoy. Yeah. They did not have this love affair.
These are Game of Thorns. Game of Thrones.
It's Theon Greyjoy. They did not love him. They wanted the young wolf to be in there. He wasn't.
You're so stuck in this wolf thing still. You're not going to let it go, are you?
I'm not.
I bought you an Arkansas State hat. Can you just take it and
you
move
didn't even
on?
give it to me, man. You didn't even give it to me. So that makes
it's in the mail with your Christmas gift.
So that makes Heineke Jon Snow. And we know from the show that everybody
if he's
loves
Jon Snow, I'm rolling with him. I mean, if he's really Jon Snow, then I'm not even looking anywhere else.
He's the prince that was promised. And then when the show was over, the prince did nothing. It was Arya that did it. All right? And that's a whole different thing. All right. So he's the prince that was promised.
So is Sam Howell possibly Arya? Is what you're saying?
No, he's Rob
This
Stark,
is so nerdy.
wolf.
We got to stop this. This is awful. Ronnie in Southern Virginia, go ahead. What's happening?
Hey, Smooth doing, man?
Hey, what's good, brother? Talk.
Hello?
Yeah,
man, it was a good game today. It was a real good game today, man. I need a little pickup, man. My sister, Devontae Jones, she got counts. I want y'all to pray for. But other than that, man, this really brightened my day up, man. This really brightened up my day, man. I'm falling in love with Sam Howell, though, man. I think I might fall in love with Sam Howell. I think he can be our number one quarterback going in next year. It all depends.
Hey, now let me ask you this, brother.
Let
me ask you this, brother. How many times have you went in a bar and had love at first sight? Because it sounds like you done did this on several occasions. It sounds like you done walked in to Buffalo Wild Wings and been like, you know what? I'm in love with her. Because you ain't seen Sam Howell but one time in a real game. And you all talking about him going to the Pro Bowl and you loving him.
Now give him a chance. Let's give Ronnie a chance. Now, you didn't say this about Tim Hasselbeck at any point, did you?
Hey, that's my quarterback.
No. But being a Washington fan, this is what we look for. Yeah. We look for stuff like this.
Yeah.
We got to find a real good quarterback. So we got to. So we got to give him a chance.
Cool. Yeah, and he's got some pedigree. It's not like he's some kid. Right. he's not some bum. I mean, he played at a good program, played well throughout his college career.
High-end football.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he did a lot of good things. I mean, did a lot of good things.
The moxie. And, the one thing I want to see, I didn't need him to throw for 300. I said 300 at the pregame.
Sure.
But I didn't need him to do none of that. I want to see his poise. I want to see how was he under pressure. I want to see how was he when the live game was going on.
Did you say Howell or how he is?
Howell and how he is.
Okay.
I use them both at the same time.
That's what I thought.
Double entendre. All right?
I like that, yeah.
You should be listening to me. I'm an
I
English
am.
teacher.
That's
all right?
beautiful.
All right. So at the end of the day, what I want to see was him move around the pocket. I want to see him hit and get back up. I want to see him throw an interception and come back in. I want to see the ups and the downs. And that's what everybody wants to see. I don't want any quarterback to come here and throw for 500 in his first game. One quarterback I remember doing that. Cam Newton's first game in the NFL, he threw for like 370, almost 400 yards. And he couldn't do that again.
Right.
And that's what's the thing. So I want to see him go through some ups and downs. Let's see who you really are. And tonight he showed me I could throw a pick and come back and dive us on the touchdown drive. He showed me that.
All right. Hey, thanks for the call, Ronnie in Southern Virginia. Let's get to Dylan in North Carolina. Dylan, you're next up here on the
he's a
postgame.
Sam Howell fan.
Or he could be a NC State guy and hate Sam Howell. Who knows?
No, probably not. Wolfpack, still a wolf.
Oh, see, you had to
Here,
jump
Dylan.
on with the Sam because I'm in North Carolina, huh?
Yeah, we thought you was on the bandwagon.
Nah, I'm from Virginia, but I support him.
All right, tell us how you feel about the game today.
Oh, I feel pretty good about it today, to be honest. I feel like we got a pretty good starting quarterback come next season, hopefully. But main question is, how do y'all think that compared to last week and this week, that the locker room was lost with Carson Wentz for a third time in his career? Do you think that the players quit on Carson Wentz when he was named starter last week compared to this week with the rookie?
I thought he'd made some terrible throws, and I don't think it had anything to do with anybody quitting on him. He wasn't even in the zip code a lot of times. I mean, in the area code of the passes. I mean, I don't know what was anybody to do with the one he threw into double coverage deep. I mean, or the ones when he's throwing them in the dirt. And a guy's out wide open in the flat. I mean, I don't know how anybody's quitting on him. It's not like you can make plays with those passes.
Nobody quit on him because I was sitting at FedEx and I seen him throw a pass and it landed in my backyard in Ashburn. Like at the end of the day, he was just not on target and he was just
terrible. I mean,
he was just not there, and it was from the beginning. Like sometimes quarterbacks go through ups and downs, but that was one big down.
Yeah,
like that was one big. I cannot get things going, and I will not get things going, and I can't be mad for Rivera was sticking with him. Like he stuck with him and said, "We're gonna either win or lose this game with you." And what we saw was the game was lost with Carson Wentz, and I don't think it had anything to do with them liking him or not liking him. Because I'm gonna tell you something about football players. You win us some game and get us some extra playoff checks, we love you.
Yeah, I mean, No, I don't. Again, I don't think it's his personality. I think it's his play. I mean, I've said this over and over. I think the personality is a guy's very accountable. He's gone out of his way to fit in here.
Nice guy. I enjoy his personality. I heard his personality stink. I enjoyed his personality.
Yeah, his play was not good. I mean, that's bottom line. I mean, that's what it boils down to. Boy, there are people that were miffed by the decision going into last week. Oh, yes, absolutely. And obviously, we saw a lot of that this week with the story, the Washington Post story. 9 players or whatever. That spoke in that piece, and you got players, spouses, sharing on social media,
and all kinds of stuff.
I mean, there was some ruffled feathers, but all that being said, today everybody got over the sore feelings and came together, and at least, they beat this team. I mean, whether you think it matters or not is whatever it is. There is an aspect of it that is shows professionalism, right? Shows professionalism, shows that a give a damn about them, and that that they can work together as a group, even when you're missing a lot of key parts. That's what that's the other thing. They're missing a lot of people, and we could sit there and say, well, so what, Dallas? They're going to playoffs. What do the Commanders have to look forward to? But they played a ton of guys reserves today, and they stepped up and
they stepped up and played.
Yeah,
they had reason to play.
Yeah.
And all us got family members just not good at their job. I got an uncle that's a carpenter. He's not good at his job, all right? He put cabinets on the wrong way. Like, he's just not good at his job. So we all got fair. We loved them. I had nothing to stop me from loving my uncle. But I also had to tell my uncle the truth. And I think that's what the situation was with Carson Wentz. The truth was The play wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
All right, the play wasn't good enough. Would I hire you because we family? Yes, I already hired you before. But when I want something done correctly, I'm just not going to do it. And today showed that. They put Sam Howell in because they wanted it done correctly. And there go the question. Do you think Carson Wentz could have beat Dallas Cowboys tonight? Same effort, same team.
Look, after last week, you couldn't put him on the home field again. I mean, I think that was pretty obvious. Let's get to Brad in Stafford next. Go ahead, Brad.
Hey, guys, how's it going?
Good, Brad. How are you?
For a hot second here. All right. First off, answer Smoot's question earlier. I go along with C also, plan C. I don't think we need to spend any money for somebody who's been around the league and they're willing to cut loose of them for some reason or another. I think we've tried that route on a couple of occasions, and it doesn't always pan out. We know what we got. But the main reason I called was I haven't heard anything mentioned about the what ifs. Suppose the Commanders, were already in the playoffs, or if today was a deciding game to be in the playoffs. Would we have ever seen Sam Howell? I don't think so.
No, we wouldn't have. We would not.
So I think that's one of the pluses. Snoop was asking how everybody feels. That's kind of the way I feel. Yeah. Like I said, I'd like to go on a little further in the program that we went to, but this is as far as we're going to go. But yeah. I think the big plus of the day is we did get to see Sam Howell, and we see what we've got to work with.
Fair enough, Brad. No, that's a good point. I mean, they were looking, I think it was a Texans game. They were hoping to get him in. They didn't quite take commands. Sorry for the pun.
Oh, yeah, that
as
was
much as they wanted him to
right
get him in there in that game. But, yeah, I mean, there was – if they would have been playing this week still alive, yeah, he wouldn't have been in the game. You're right. I mean, it would have been Heineke's game, I would believe. More likely than not, it would have been – that's what it boiled down to. But you're right. I mean, and for some people, they've seen enough of that. They know where that level is and where that's going to get you, where it's not going to get you.
No, you're totally wrong, Old Dominion. They love Heineke right here, and that's why I told you if we're going
to – Not everybody.
If we're going to –
I think there's people that want to see a higher level for this offense.
Well,
I feel like it had kind of plateaued and was stuck for a bunch of weeks, and that's why we got to the point where the coaching staff were like, hey, let's throw Carson Wentz back out there.
Let me ask you this. Could we have a scenario where Sam Howell is the starter and Heineke backs him up? Because I don't think that's possible.
I think he's gonna. I think he'll probably want to explore his options, right? I mean, I think in a sense he'll probably want to see what else is out there, what the interest level is for him. He's put a lot of good stuff
tape
on tape.
No, he has.
He's a priority backup with a chance to maybe get a job.
You just said it.
He's not a obvious starter. No team's going to say, "Hey, here's our starting quarterback solution this offseason aside Taylor Heineke." It's not going to happen.
But he's an Andy Reid type backup.
But he's a backup somewhere for a bunch of years, and a guy who you can plug and play. You can plug and play, no question about it, and not be worried about it. Know what he's going to give you. So I could see that. But again, is there hard feelings? I would think he's not pleased about what happened last week. I mean, clearly, he's a competitor.
Nobody likes to get benched, but you also understand that there's only 31 other teams in this league, and a lot of them don't need.
Right, and this was the one team we also have to always remember
they gave
the chance. Nobody else was calling it.
Nobody else was calling it.
He wasn't playing even in the XFL as a starter, and this team gave him a chance. Scott Turner, in particular, spent a lot of time with him over the years from Minnesota, and obviously saw him at ODU. Was the only guy that really went down there and cared about it. So. You gotta also think about that. Let's get to George and FedEx before we get to a timeout. George, you're next up with us here on the Postgame Show. How you doing?
What's up, guys? I'm doing pretty well.
Hey, George.
I wanted to focus on a lot of the guys saying like how bad the season was. I just wanted to look on the good points. Like going into the season, I really want to focus on Jahan Dotson. I think he's the hero. He is the future of the Commanders. He's like everyone coming into the season. He had a similar name to like Josh Dotson, Jahan Dotson, Josh Dotson. Everyone was talking about, oh, this dude's not going to be very good. I think he's done a tremendous job, and if he didn't get injured for like 5 or 6 weeks, he would probably be Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's true, but it's a big if right there.
I mean, he had a better quarterback play for him too. But I mean, look, he was very good, no doubt. Early in the season, in particular with him and Wentz, actually had a tremendous rapport early on because they threw more to him in the offseason than they did the other guys because Terry wasn't here for the offseason, and then you had obviously the situation with their pitch count for Curtis Samuel, so they definitely had the best relationship immediately. You could see that. But no, I mean, he was very good. There are a lot of good things. But, also that's what's frustrating, too, because I think you see the talents there on a lot of parts of the roster, but then you left yourself short in some really important areas.
I was shocked that Diamond Brown didn't get a lot of more balls today. I would have thought with Howell, that being his ex,
it was a very conservative game plan, right?
He passed the ball 19 times.
Right, it was very conservative.
Why 19 times? Dak passed the ball for 37 times and still had 127.
Like that last drive, I mean, go for it. I mean, come on. I'm not coming back. I mean, that's not like fans came here and they sat out in the cold. I mean, go for it on 4th and 3 or whatever it was.
Put some fireworks out there.
I mean, come on. I don't know. I didn't need to see Joey Sly get his confidence back.
Yeah,
on a 26-yard field goal.
Joey Sly did not have a good day. Usually I'm like, kick him in the eye, Joey Sly.
You are. You're that guy.
And he just didn't miss the extra point, missed the field goal, missed the deep field goal. Like,
sure.
Come on, Joey.
But, yeah, I think it was just kind of the game plan dictated that he didn't get out there. I'm with you. I mean, I thought, hey, maybe there'd be a special play or two that those two guys could get a chance. But, hey, he found Terry on the deep shot that was a beautiful ball. I mean, it's a 60-yard ball in the air.
They go to touch with him. And the slants were on point. They were lasers.
The middle of the field was open.
Because we don't throw that. Nobody checks it.
Well, I mean, between the hashes, I think there was a stat at one point this year. Carson Wentz was the least used area of the field for him was between the hashes. And, he didn't like throwing the middle of the field. So, I mean, it was good to see that part of the offense back. And, as you know, with Taylor and his size, he gets a lot of balls batted down. So, it was good to see, how he really gets it out. I mean, he's got arm talent.
Why wouldn't Carson throw across the middle? Because he's gun shy. All right, listen, I had a bully named Winford.
But he's never really done that in his career, though. But he's never been a guy that throws across a lot in the middle of his career. It's been weird. Mm-hmm. But, again, that's this offseason, I was asking you before, and we'll get to this on the other side, is whether or not you buy into the fact that you can carry over, like from a week 18 in this case, or your 17th game of the season into the next season, and certainly a lot of it has to do with who's in the field, doesn't it?
Yeah. Are you going to bring them back?
Right.
Like, I'm asking, are you going to bring Danny Johnson back? Can I ask anybody out there that's seen Danny Johnson play a bad snap of football this year? Because I haven't. All right, sticky coverage, defense, but he has one of those names. All right, Danny Johnson. Regular first name, regular last name. Don't fit in good with football. Football is about sports name, but if you look at this player, you study him the way I do, Danny Johnson can play, and I think he's capable of being a starter. Like, because you really start 3 cornerbacks now. I think Danny Johnson gives you a chance to dance, and then he just nobody ever gives him his props. So, Mr. Danny Johnson, Fred Smoot is going to give you your props. You did a great job.
Look at that.
This year.
All right, we're going to break. We're saying goodbye on YouTube, right? You guys YouTube people, are you bored with us?
They threw with us.
Here. It's too cold.
Yeah.
All right, they're leaving. All right, we'll say goodbye to the YouTubers. Stick with us here on Big 100 Raven B around the Washington Commanders Radio Network. We'll get to more calls. We'll hear from Ron Rivera from the podium part where he is more expansive on some off-season issues. 800-493-1003, 800-493-1003. You are listening to Washington Commanders football.
Big
100. Right after you gave yourselves the opportunity to play, you gave yourselves an opportunity to win a football game. Nobody going to quit. That's just the way it is. Doesn't matter. We played up. Now, a couple guys got a couple opportunities today, and they stepped up. Okay, on the defensive side, he played like he practiced, they told me. They said he played like he practiced. Okay? Malik, where you at?
I don't got too much to say, man. All I got to say is no matter how discouraged you feel, how mad you are, however you're feeling in the moment, I got one thing to say, man. Hard work is undefeated. That's all I got to say.
On his first start, first win, first touchdown, and he'll be jealous.
Appreciate y'all, man. Support me all week. Y'all always have my back, but Coach always says it, man. It's in this room. Dallas had everything to play for, man, and we beat them. We beat them bad, too, and it could have been a lot worse. We left a lot of things out there, man. So let's carry this momentum into the offseason. Let's roll these boys next year.
Hey, just so you know, really, I'm proud of what you did. Proud of the way you guys played. We had a lot of opportunities this season. We missed those opportunities. Let that sit in your craw for a little bit, for a while. Let it marinate. That when you come back, you know what it's going to take. Understand, and I appreciate what Leek said about hard work. I appreciate about what he said, what Sam said. Let's roll, all right?